Okay, let's first do a under the hood test with the engine off. This is a preliminary test. We're just looking for any obvious defects or failures in the air conditioning system. What we're going to do is we're going to take our manifold gauge set and we're going to hook it up to the high and low side on the vehicle. Now, to determine which is which, when we look at our fitting ends, you're going to find that there's a large and a small port on two lines. The small port would indicate the low side, which is also indicated by blue on these gauge sets. The high side one is a larger port, and it's noticeably larger, so you can't accidentally put the wrong set of gauges on the fittings. Also, I want you to note that on this gauge set, the shutoff valves are located on the fitting, which is important because one thing to understand, when you turn the knob in, that opens the valve. You would think it would be the other way around, but actually when you back it all the way off, this shuts it off. So we want to leave them in the shut-off position on both of these, and then we want to go ahead and place them on the two components, the two fittings that we discussed earlier. Do not open these two valves up unless you're going to do a recovery, or if you're going to charge the system with a recovery machine or from a bottle. These always stay closed. As we're connecting the gauge set to the two fittings we mentioned, again, I want to emphasize that as we turn this in, we are depressing the Schrader valve that is in the port on the fitting line. So once I get it clipped on, I'll be turning this in, and that'll allow the refrigerant to come in and get a gauge reading. When I've hooked both these up and opened up both of these valves, we'll want to notice if we're getting needles moving. If both needles move, they should be the same pressure, but when they do move, that indicates we do have a presence of refrigerant. If the needles do not move, then we can assume automatically that we have a major leak and there's no refrigerant in the system.